we're knocking out PSG. I promise you, we're knocking out. Aston Villa will go further than any other English team in the Champions League. That's the fact. We will be the furthest team. Okay, so Liverpool, tada, you're out. We will beat PSG. We will beat PSG. Everyone's getting hyped up over their little double performance against Liverpool. Everyone's all of a sudden become PSG ultra, fanatics. You know everything about PSG. They've seen the Dembele stats online. They've hardly watched PSG, right? All I know is Unai Emery, right, has got a point to prove against that club. The absolute fraudulent club that they are. The club that think that you can sack a manager just because they don't win a Champions League in one season and be done with it. Unai Emery's coming for Unai Emery. Rotate 8 players, Egal, and go, I'm going to Paris and we're coming away with something.
Hi, Josh. Can you confirm?
Don't say hi, Josh. Say good evening, Josh.
Good evening.
No, bad evening, Josh. Can you confirm that was you? Yes or no?
Yeah, some of those clips, not the same hair, but yeah, I think it was me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you or did you not have a go at a gal? Who's going to be here, by the way? You both did down there, to be fair, but mainly you gaslighted it. Yes or no?
I don't remember what I had a go at Egal about. Oh, not believing in his team.
Yeah,
I did have a go at him for not believing in his team. Yeah.
Does Unai Emery have blood on his hands now?
Oh, well, so after what I saw at halftime, yeah, he does.
Okay, so is rotating 8 of your players making any bit of a difference, yes or no?
Yeah, it does. It does. Aston Villa players did well tonight. So look, people who are contracted to Aston Villa players did well tonight.
Wait, say that again.
Wait, you get muted. I want to hear none of that shit. Josh, did you or did you not lose 3-1 tonight?
Yeah.
Was you not telling yourself in your own street that 2-1's a good result?
Yeah.
Did you not say you was going to go to the PSG and win or get a result before that happened?
Even nothing. Don't even.
I said in context during the stream. Obviously, when it up, I was having a party.
All right, fair enough. Last thing is, did you or did you get humbled?
The party's not over.
Did you?
I got one, Kas. I got one, Kas. What is the record after Champions League games in the Premier League for Villa?
What?
I'll answer it for you. 1-4. The only team you've beaten is Wolves.
Yeah, but they got Southampton. They
didn't even beat Southampton. 0-0.
No, I'm saying they've got Southampton. Let that one go, Joey. Let that one go.
It's not the point, regardless. Wolfie said it. The tie's over, my bro. It's done. Wolfie tried to tell you, by the way, don't oversell yourself. Don't get too gassed. And you found yourself in a moment where you look like an absolute prat, and we love you for it. Josh, just let it go. Josh, let it go. Let it go. You got absolutely cooked. You know what? Are you going to apologize to Egal tonight?
The toy's not over because what Egal.
Are you going to apologize to Egal tonight? Yes or no? I don't want. We don't want an explanation yet. Are you going to apologize? Yes or no?
No apology.
You gaslight him to believing that his team should be beating Real Madrid to beat the best, but you can't even beat PSG. But you're going to go further. Yes or no?
It's not over.
Is your team nothing short of a disgrace?
Some Villa players aren't.
Is the manager anything short of a disgrace?
I want to know what sort of sick deal he's got with Axel Disasi going on.
Oh, well, funny.
Wait, you were bigging him up.
Hilarious.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Hilarious. You were telling me not
when I say Aston Villa players,
months ago, you were telling me Disasi's
ever
the best
be
defender
Aston
on your
Villa player.
team.
Why were you bigging him up? You were literally bigging him up on Sunday.
Yeah, why would you?
No, Wolfie. I said that his substitution, Disasi at right back, was the worst move. I said that what Unai Emery, I don't know if this guy forgot what happened at the weekend, where Villa dominated the first half against Forest. All things were good. He then plays and changes. What is it with him and right backs in 45 minutes?
What are you talking about? No. We don't want
don't
to hear
do
about
that.
that. Don't do that.
Get
We want to
angry
talk
now.
about this game. Yeah, we don't want to talk about this game.
Oh, yeah, I am. So let me finish my point. Okay, so what happened is, Patrick, is at the weekend, Villa dominated the first half. Unai Emery makes a change in the defence. Instead of playing concert at right back, he plays disaster class at right back. Disaster got cooked by Forest wingers, and it was embarrassing. What happens?
Why we
PSG, Matty Cash on a yellow card. What is it? And I'll make this point. Why do managers shit themselves when players are on yellow cards? Why do they not trust them?
I'm lost.
Why
they don't trust him?
But why? Why?
Because they don't trust him to make another tackle. Like
no. Wait, hold on. This is too nice. This is the same guy on Saturday and Thursday, by the way, bigging up his manager Unai Emery, the one that's got European trophies, big game manager. You know, vengeance talks. You know, what did you call PSG a fraudulent club? Was it and whatnot? Like, I want to hear you talk about your manager because last time you had a little bit of a disaster class going on, you was blaming him, and now he's the best thing since sliced bread. How about this? Your manager's a big game bottle job.
Ooh.
Every time he goes to a big game, he sets with 5 at the back, plays low block, and gets fucked up. You get a little bit of hope, you go 1-0 up, and he fucks up. How about some stick on your manager? Don't focus on right back, focus on your manager, putting on that right back, or whatever you want to call it, third centre back. They didn't even have a striker.
Well, he put 2 left backs on, didn't he?
Wait, he had a
no, that was right.
Marquinhos.
Okay, so my thing with Unai Emery is he got that halftime sub wrong, so I can put a bit of blame on him. But if we went and attacked against PSG, we'd have got cooked. We would have got cooked today. It would have been 5 or 6-1. So he's employed and deployed the right tactics for me. The only qualm I have, though, and this is why I've got belief, every time PSG went forward, they looked like they were going to score. But I actually believe every time Villa went forward, we looked threatening. The issue is we didn't have enough bodies to support Rashford, didn't have enough bodies to support Rodgers. And so at Villa Park, that will change. I'm telling you, that PSG defence was bang average. I'm not scared of that PSG defence.
I knew he was going to do this, Josh.
Wait. What channel were you watching this game? TNT?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're watching it on TNT? Because
you know what the maddest thing, because you know what the maddest thing is, the commentators were they were trying to gaslight the shit out of Aston Villa, yeah?
They were, yeah.
They're trying to gaslight this shit. Oh, this is a good result and all that kind of shit. Shut your mouth, yeah? Talking about, oh, look at Morgan Rodgers. Done fuck all game. I've been telling people he's a good player. He's not this star quality elite man. Guy got a tap in. Guess who done all the hard work? John McGinn and Rashford. He just got a tap in. The guy did fuck and all. He got shown up by Desiree Doué, who's younger than him by 4 years when he put that ball top bins. Had a much better game.
Yeah.
You could talk about loads of different things.
What
do you mean? You lot been playing wing all fucking season. What you on about? Him and flipping, what's his name? Jacob, what's his name? Ramsey. Crap as well, by the way. This is what I mean when you gas up absolute mid in the Premier League because they got a bit of athleticism and they can ball carry. What does he offer other than goals and a bit of ball carrying? I'm telling you now, B-Tech Jude Bellingham's, I don't rate it. Black tape fade, all of that haircut, same shit. How about you go sort out his skin a little bit and he might shine a little bit more? You know, because since you don't want to cuss Rasmus Højlund all the time, yeah, and with his fucking acne, how about his one? Because guess what? He was too busy not trying to get his hair fucked up.
I don't know how this has gone that way, but that's fine. Well, I think he has a good dermatologist, Morgan Rodgers, if he wants to sort out that.
I think that game could have been 5-1 if it wasn't for Martinez. Martinez kept it. That shit could have been 5-1 if it wasn't for Martinez.
Martinez really fucked up again, though, with that nutmeg.
Defense, nothing to do with your team. Without Martinez, that game would have ended 5-1. Seriously. He see that domination.
You lot are nothing short of a disgrace.
Absolutely amazing.
You know what it is, Josh? You've been getting off. You know what it is? You've been getting off on a whim of thundercunting shit teams in the Champions League like Club Brugge and getting gas. No, that's the equivalent of beating a fucking Southampton or whoever in the Premier League. The thing is, you've been getting away with it for way too long. Talk about your form. Talk about this. You know what? You know what the maddest thing is, Josh, yeah? You want to talk about how good your team have been recently, which is fair enough, yeah? But how about, yeah, when you talked about, oh, people act like PSG experts. Well, guess what? Those PSG man who were talking about them look like fucking experts today because they made fucking light work of you. You know what I felt like I was watching? Yeah? I felt like I was watching Newcastle versus Leicester. That's what I thought I was watching.
Right.
It's the equivalent of that.
Are you?
You lot were crap.
I get it. I get it. You got to cook me, and you got to come out with some points,
but,
and I get it.
Yeah, I can't see how you can sit here and say. I can't see how you can sit here and say that you guys had this like really good game plan. You guys were really threatening when it just felt like even when you scored, it felt like PSG was always going to come back. Even when you scored.
I didn't say we're threatening. What I said is
that's
that
exactly
when we went forward,
you said
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said when we went forward, I felt like we were going to create something. We were going to threat, whatever you want to say. Didn't say we were really threatening team. I said when we went forward. The issue is we only got to threaten 3 times. What we didn't get to do is threaten for 90 minutes. And my point is, which is where I'm trying to get to, and instead of like the actual football in terms of this, is that if Villa can have more attacks in PSG's final third at Villa Park, we will create a lot more, and we will probably score a couple of goals at Villa Park.
Josh, you got a problem with that.
No. My issue is, we have to. We have to go out.
George, the left back sat down in your whole defense. The left back went in your box and sat down.
That's not about attacking. That's not about attacking, though, Patrick. You want about attacking here?
No, Josh, you're missing the point.
If you want, no, what point?
The point is, if you open up to attack, they will chew you up and spit you out, man.
So can I say this then? In that sense, watching that Arsenal game yesterday against Real Madrid showed me everything you need to do as a home side at the Champions League. Even Declan Rice in his interview. No. Even that. Hold on.
But you got Emery, man. Good evening.
Without banter, this. If you want real football talk here, Declan Rice is spot on. He said, "We should not fear Real Madrid. We need to go forwards. We need to be on the front foot. We need to attack them." And do you know what he said? He said they're going to do it at the Bernabeu as well. They're going to go at the front foot. I actually look at that as something that's spot on. For me, we couldn't have probably done that with PSG. We at the Parc des Princes, we've got to respect them. Maybe for the last 20, 30 minutes, we could have had a change in Unai Emery's approach and style. However, do I think Villa, to not go and attack them at Villa Park would be absolutely criminal. We have to go at them. And if that opens the corridor for them to score a couple of goals, then so be it. But I'd rather see my team now go out what we do. What I do know is this, and Kas is wrong about Club Brugge. He's wrong about Villa's Champions League form. Okay? Aston Villa in the Champions League at home, 4 clean sheets, have beaten Bayern Munich, have turned over a very good Club Brugge side, drew with Juventus 0-0. We have at Villa Park done the business.
You've been to sack their manager. Who gives a shit?
What?
Thiago Motta got sacked, so that means they were shit.
That's right.
Close them out. Everyone knows this.
That's fine. But if
they gave Man City a decent game. Guess what? Did Man City beat them? Yes or no?
Yeah. But I'm telling you this. You're overlooking what can happen at Villa Park in terms of the tactics, in terms of the approach, and in terms of the personnel. 100% Marco.
No one believes you. Who are you trying to? Wait. He's trying to convince himself as we speak on the panel.
I'm going to give you the footballing reasons why I know you're not going to come back. Okay,
please do.
It's because the way that the midfield was dominated in that game. Okay, there was no. It didn't look like there was an outlet period other than Rashford. You kept bypassing your midfield the entire game. Am I right or wrong for the most part? Unless Begin picks up the ball in the midfield. Again. You were not exiting the game, exiting your back line from the midfield. You were bypassing a majority of the time just so you could even have an opportunity. So the way that PSG controls the midfield, I just don't see how you come back in this. There has to be a total switch in the way that you guys. I just don't think you even have the personnel to do it, though, Josh. That's my problem.
Did I not just say personnel? Because McGinn's not on my side next week. I actually said when Onana came on, his best player, and I was calling for Onana. I'm not a big Onana fan, but I said we need to get some power in that midfield. We need to have a bit of ball control. We need a bit of domination, and we need to have someone again who's not afraid. And you talk about these ball carriers. That's what Villa needed in that midfield. Tielemans and Kamara aren't ball carriers. McGinn's not a ball carrier either.
Morgan Rogers is.
He's not.
Morgan Rogers is.
But But he's not in the midfield. He's not in that three that we're talking about. We're
Well,
talking about Kamara.
Kind of was
Tielemans, and
defensively, right? Like, kind of was
Of course,
defensively.
everyone was. Everyone is.
Yeah, but even with you, that's my point, though, Josh. Even with you overloading the midfield, PSG dominated the midfield. You overloaded about 4 or 5.
Vitinha had so much space, man.
Not in possession. Not in possession.
Neves went 96% pass accuracy in this game. 96.
They didn't run those in the middle of the field.
They
didn't run those. I just don't see it. This guy stinks.
I'm not talking from how much I hate you and your club, because I do. But I'm talking from legitimately, but legitimately, I'm talking about like footballing acumen, like the way that you guys play.
Yeah.
I just don't see.
Tell me where Nuno Mendes. Tell me where Nuno Mendes plays. Tell me where Nuno Mendes plays.
Left back.
He's a wing back, as it goes.
Okay,
He's actually a wing back.
Okay, so you want to talk about some pass rate. So you're talking about how Villa boxed out the midfield. You're talking about how Villa played basically a 6-3-1 out of possession. Correct. So of course their wide players are going to have all that pass accuracy. Of course,
he wasn't a wide player. I'm talking Neves. João Neves.
Neves, the midfielder. The midfielder.
So I thought someone said Ruben.
No.
João Neves.
Man's confused.
Had
Give him time.
96 pass accuracy. I just don't see how you have the personnel. And I think Onana could help, but I just don't see how you have the personnel to actually accomplish much from it. That's my point. I don't see a level increase coming from Onana where you guys are going to create multiple chances from it. Like, that's my point.
It comes down to the tactics again. We have to play 15 yards higher up the pitch, first and foremost.
I dare you.
Right. High up the pitch with Dembele.
Yes, of course.
Bro, you're just going to get picked apart. Vitinha's going to pop one over the top. It's that simple.
Whoa. If you're telling me then that if we park the bus, we're not going to create anything going forward. Hold on. No.
No, bro. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't have the personnel in the midfield to match the personnel in the midfield that PSG have. The technical level, the technical quality, the physicality, the combination of the two. You don't even have either or to compete with them. That's my point.
Right. If you play a low block like we did, your midfield always gets bypassed because you're on top of each other. So there were times where people like Kamara, Tielemans, and Konsa were trying to do fucking rondos in our own 18-yard box and giving the ball away, which was horrible to see. You have to play higher up the pitch. You have to play 15 yards higher away from your goal, which Villa, first under Unai Emery, by the way, did. Everyone knows Villa had that high line. Yes, it caught us out. Yes, PSG are going to have pace up front. But if you're telling me that my midfield needs to be in the game more, my midfield needs to be more impactful, we need to not pass our midfield, then we have to play 15 yards higher up the pitch. It's an absolute fact for that. We need to play the ball out.
I know you need to, but guess what? It won't matter. I dare Tielemans that Jigglypuff to keep running around that field before 60 minutes before he absolutely before that guy gasses out. Yeah, you know what it is? This guy cusses Arsenal, or tries to gaslight Arsenal to do what Arsenal do best, which is set pieces. That's what you want, Josh. Because you've got no choice. So now you're reverting back to that. Because guess what? Your manager is a fraud. Because your manager's a fraud. Every time it comes to a big game, what do you think you're going to do a team to absolutely dominate Liverpool at flipping Anfield, by the way, and beat them at Anfield to draw them to penalties in the Champions League in a tie where they're 1-0 down? What do you think you're doing? I can't believe you actually sitting here thinking you've got a bit of copium.
Are you all saying it's done? Are you all saying it's done?
Can we just be
honest
here? And
can you all say that with chest? Say it with chest. 100%.
Wait,
100%.
You want to put money on it?
Hold on, Josh. Hold on. Let me ask you the same two questions I asked you on Saturday.
That's the thing.
Wait, Josh, let me ask you the same two questions I asked you on Saturday. Are you going through past PSG?
Yes.
Are you winning the Champions League?
Why do you laugh at? Well, if you get past PSG, then yeah. So
honestly, I see why you get along with Deji so well.
Yeah,
I've got to say, Josh, I hate to be the one to say this to you because I do respect Villa, okay? But you need a reality check because you're out of your league.
Yeah.
That was men versus boys today. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
bro. I wanted you to do well and everything, but you got absolutely schooled today. You
Josh,
can't play low block.
You like Josh, you lie so much. I'm actually wondering if you really proposed.
That's costed.
That's crazy.
Because
honestly, you'll find another woman tonight to propose to, bro.
And the other news I told you about as well. So
yeah, but that's not I'm not going to say that news. But you might be lying about that too.
I wouldn't be like that. But Essentially, for me, Wolfie, I was expecting this. I don't know why.
No, you wasn't.
No. I was expecting us to park the bus. I was expecting us to literally watch what PSG did against Liverpool. But I felt, personally, I believe that we'd create a little bit more on the counter-attack tonight than we did. And I also didn't think it would be 3 goals. I knew we were going to concede tonight. All right. And that's why at 2-1, hence why I said on my watch on, I said, you know what? Going back to Villa Park at 2-1, can get off that.
No, but Josh, on Saturday night, you said you were coming away with something.
Yeah, he did.
No way. Yeah, I did, Wolfie. And do you know what? At 1-0 up, Wolfie, I still believe we were going to go away with something. At 1-1, I still believe we were.
I lasted 2 minutes, bro. I lasted 2 minutes.
4 minutes, unfortunately. But my biggest thing for that is though, Wolfie.
A bit.
If I have to be real,
Where's it gone?
Yeah, don't worry. He's in prison. It's just I forgot to do it as an overlay edit. He's there though.
Sorry, I was wondering.
You know what? How about this? You're basically in prison. You can stay down there for a minute.
Wait, Josh, can I ask you something? Why was Watkins on the bench?
No, you can't ask him. You can't ask him a question. He's silent for 5 minutes. How about that? You know what?
We need to talk, Patrick, because we were both here Saturday night, and I seem to remember someone saying to us, correct me if I'm wrong, my memory might not be as good as it used to be, that as long as they have Emery in charge, they have a chance. Would that be correct, Patrick? Was the conversation a bit like that?
Yeah.
And then he's come on tonight, and the first thing he did was blame Emery for what he did with the Sassy.
This man is stress eating. He just opened a packet of crisps.
Huh?
He's stress eating. He just opened a packet of crisps after hitting the ball. So I mean, like he's stressing. You know when you're stress eating, look at him. He's stress eating.
Comfort food, man. Bit of comfort food, isn't it?
Keep going.
And like I would have expected Josh to come on here tonight and just been a little more
humble,
respectful, to
bit
PSG.
More humble as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Respectful to PSG, and said, you know what? They outclassed us. They beat us. Instead, he's trying to look for these roundabout excuses with Emery and what have you, blaming the non-Villa players that we warned him about with the likes of Rashford. Kas, I'm sure you've warned him plenty of times.
You know Rashford. What? I said it. Rashford actually played all right today, to be fair, and he didn't get. It was all right. Do you know? Yeah, I thought so too. But you know what it is? I've been saying it time and time. The issue is with Rashford. He is good in a counter-attacking side. Last time he was absolutely amazing when he played counter-attack. He got his treat tonight. I think him and McGinn linked up to set up that tapping merchant Morgan Rogers. So, anyways. On that notice, it's like he done what
Rogers weren't gonna do nothing though, Kas.
Yeah, but that's
literally today. He said he wasn't gonna.
Yeah,
do anything.
But he did. But other than tapping, what did he do?
Oh, Josh, you didn't know that.
Yeah,
you guys didn't know that. Kas said,
yeah, he does. I mean, I was saying it. That's why people. That's why people in the comments. Like I said, I've seen other players get goals, but they've done nothing the whole game because that's what they do. They just don't do nothing the whole game. He didn't. He overhit crosses. He ran into people. He kept blazing the ball over the bar. Yeah. He misplaced passes. He tried to do one of them Jude Bellingham passes that he did completed yesterday. Guess what? Didn't happen, did it? Overhit. So on that notice, like I said, just let him land a little bit. Stop overrating him. He's a good player. But Josh put him in a different pedestal. I don't know if you're not here for Saturdays, Monts, and you know, Josh, this is why. So, anyways, the thing is like for me is Josh is nothing short of a disgrace. Do you know what I mean? Not you know why? Because because wait, hold on, Monts. Yeah, here you go.
We're knocking out PSG. I promise you, we're knocking out. Aston Villa will go further than any other English team in the Champions League. That's the fact. We will be the furthest team. Okay, so Liverpool, tada, you're out. We will beat PSG. We will beat PSG. Everyone's getting hyped up over their little double performance against Liverpool. Everyone's all of a sudden become PSG ultra, fanatics. You know everything about PSG. They've seen the Dembele stats online. They've hardly watched PSG, right? All I know is Unai Emery, right, has got a point to prove against that club. The absolute fraudulent club that they are. The club that think that you can sack a manager just because they don't win a Champions League in one season and be done with it. Unai Emery's coming for Unai Emery. Rotate 8 players, Egal, and go, I'm going to Paris and we're coming away with something.
Can I just, are we allowed to ask him questions?
Yeah.
You know what? Wait, let me double check. Let me check. 5 minutes is up, Red Gorilla now, so he can he can come back to life.
I really want off the back of that clip. where he said Emery has a point to prove.
Unai Emery.
Yeah, I just asked Josh, what point did he prove tonight?
He's an average manager.
The point that you proved tonight is
They were right to sack him?
that.
Or-
Point
man
that
is
he proved-
sweating,
that-
you know?
the point that he proved tonight was that Aston Villa is still in this tie. The point that he's tried to prove is
You've got
we've got
nothing.
Silky,
You're no.
Qatari,
No, they're
Rich
still in
Oda.
the tie. They're
No,
still in
no,
the
no.
tie. They're still in the tie.
Yeah, but they're
No,
they're they're still in the tie. Factually, they're still there.
They all said every
You are out. You're out.
100%.
Monts.
Bro, if Villa
100%.
bag one goal, it's game on, bro. Like what we doing?
Thank
Did you?
Thank
What about
Yeah,
you?
but
You
went with the
game
lead
up.
back to your
Say that
place.
again?
Let's be real. You
Say that
took a
again?
lead back to your place.
Bro, they won on penalties, bro. Like we're not gonna do.
Yeah,
it.
but I'm not putting Liverpool and Villa on the same level.
Monts, they came to
and
Anfield.
no,
They came
no,
to
and
Anfield and caused
Villa
trouble.
aren't as and Villa aren't as good as Liverpool. But I'm just
Monts.
saying, in the context of the tie, it's not done, innit? Like cool, it's not likely, but it's not completely done. Like Real Madrid are done, Dortmund are done, them man are done. Like this game is not completely done. But what I would say is though, you see Disaster doing this.
Don't.
You see that
Yeah.
one?
Don't. That's why I said
You
Monts.
see
Villa
that
players
one?
did well
Yeah.
tonight. Villa players did well tonight.
Man said
Aston
it-
Villa.
Rodgers didn't do
You
that
didn't do
well up
well
against
tonight.
Dewey,
You
man.
lost 3-1, bro. Like I said, you're nothing short of a disgrace. You're an English team that's come into it, yeah. You know what? You've had a couple runs, bro. You've had your Champions League run. Would you there? Where would you last year in the conference? Where was you? The Conference League last year, was it?
Yeah.
Or the year before?
They messed up against
League last year.
Olympiacos.
You done it
We
again, so you messed
a
up
very
again,
good Olympic
bro. You've
after
had
fight.
your time. You built your squad, and guess what? It's nothing short of just average. You're a Europa League side. Get used to it. That's your levels, bro. Because it's time. Let Newcastle have a run. Let Forest have a run. Let someone else have a run. Because your time's up. You've had Unai Emery, third best manager in the league, and all this stuff. No, you've had your time.
You don't just let teams have a
You're a
run. You
Europa
earn your
League
spot in a
team.
competition.
You are a
wants to
Europa
have
League side, bro.
Brighton. Let's
Conference.
let Brighton have a run. Let's let Brighton or Bournemouth.
Yeah,
have a run in the
Newcastle
Champions
got a
League.
better
Is that what
team
we
than
do?
you.
No,
Newcastle got a
no,
better team than
sit
you.
down.
How about you
Sit
start
down.
blaming?
I've got
How about you start blaming Monchi for getting rid of Douglas Luiz and the rest of the crew and absolutely recruiting it for absolute shite in Anana and the rest of it? Yeah, like I said, you got Jigglypuff and Tielemans trying to run around for 90 minutes and he can't do it because man needs a fucking breather here and there. I feel sorry for him because he's been one of your best players, if not the best this year for you. Yeah. You took a Matty Cash, bro. You're talking about in-game management. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to rely on Tielemans for 90 minutes each game, yeah, is insane. The guy's not got the fitness to do it, and your manager wants to run him into the ground.
Right.
You got an overhyped squad, and you don't want to admit it. And I can't believe you're sitting in 7th, 8th with that squad that you've got that you think is so amazing.
But we're not finishing there, are we?
Well, guess who you got after Southampton, bro? You got Newcastle.
Let's just come back into perspective here, right? Okay. Let's just.
You talk shit on Chelsea. You talk shit on Chelsea, and they're above you.
No. Yeah. Let's just put perspective on where we are. Aston Villa are still in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. If we score the first goal at Villa Park, we go on and win the title. Okay. All right. We will. Yeah. So let's take that. We're in the semi-finals of an FA Cup against Crystal Palace. I'm convinced we beat them. We go to.
They've already had your number twice.
And we have this brilliant top 4 contest, top 5 contest for running of the season. My squad is ready for it. I am going to say this now. This PSG game, I just know that Villa are going to come with a complete different game plan. And you all laugh saying that if we come out open-minded,
like Forest did in the second half, yeah.
Did Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo destroy an Arsenal line that played a lot higher up?
Arsenal better than you.
Dominated the ball. No, hold on.
They have Saliba. You have Disasi.
No. Huh? No,
you have Disasi.
No.
Even Mings is not working.
Brother, what are you trying to say? That your front line is the equivalent of Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinny?
No.
What are you trying to say?
No, you're missing my point. Because you're all telling me that if Villa play a high line against PSG, we're going to get cooked.
Yes, you are.
We're going to get this. No. So why did Real Madrid not do it against Arsenal?
Because Real Madrid have Timber and Saliba at the back and Lewis Skelly, who are more than capable and got great recovery. What do you think Matty Cash is going to do? The only one that you've got that's going to do a great recovery, is one player, and that's Konza. No other player.
More man and say what? Matty Trash.
He's all right today, you know what?
Did they Did Real Madrid have many chances again? All I'm saying is, if we can dominate the ball more,
you're not Arsenal,
you can't dominate the ball against PSG.
Whenever you dominate a team this year, that's not a fucking below bottom team. Like, who do you dominate? Your manager sets up in a disgusting haram way, bro. Your manager sets up in a disgusting, bro. Your manager and his tactics needs a halal stamp on it.
You dominated us in that second half, did you?
Wolfie,
no, didn't give it away.
Wolfie, tell him again. I think he didn't understand. Tell him again what type of team he is. You're not that team.
You're not that guy, bud. You're not that guy.
Let me tell you something, Josh. Do you know what has happened to you? It's one of those things where the big guy, that's Man City, hasn't done it. You've ended up in a place where you don't belong. This is what has happened. You don't belong here, Josh. How didn't you get that?
Out of their depth.
I said you don't belong here.
I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. Like, you can't dominate PSG at home. You can't do it.
Can I just say, Josh?
I'm asking us to have more of the ball. I'm asking us to have more of the ball. What we did tonight at the Parc des Princes was the right tactics. We couldn't go to the Parc des Princes with a lot of ball. We had to sit in. We had to. And my biggest qualm was we didn't have enough counter-attacks tonight. We didn't push that ball forward. And I think
this man says he's going to play high line against that PSG at home.
He said if Real Madrid can do it, if Real Madrid can't do it, if Arsenal can do it to Real Madrid, then why can't Aston Villa do it to PSG?
Can I just say on Josh's domination point?
In the location,
Forest have the lowest stats on possession in the Premier League. Yeah, I think it's under 40. Against Villa, overall, you had 52% to 48. In the second half, we had 58% possession.
I agree. I saw that, by the way.
And I basically listened to Declan Rice last night. I thought his interview was bang on when he said,
"Don't let him gaslight you." By the way,
our game plan
was Declan Rice going to say?
What's this got to do with Declan Rice?
Relevant comment. No. Let me actually finish with what I'm trying to say. Right, Declan Rice is spot on. Arsenal's mentality was against Real Madrid. He said we want to attack at the Emirates, we want to play on the front foot, and we're going to do the same at the Bernabeu. Aston Villa weren't able to do that. But I'm telling you now, if we go to Villa Park and we play more on the front foot, we play 15 yards higher up the pitch, and we create more opportunities in the final third, who knows what's going to happen? And do you know what?
So why the other side? What about the other way? What about the other way?
We gotta stop you. You said to me going into this tie, my manager has done this. My manager knows about these competitions. My manager is a cup specialist. And this same manager who you rate highly, who you have said is going to be able to outdo other people. And specifically when you compared him to Arsenal. I'm looking at you right now, and I've seen you questioning that same manager's tactics that you said is the specialist that's able to get these situations. So, Josh, instead of beating around the bush, call it out. Unai Emery got it wrong?
I did. I said he got the wrong substitution at half time, not the tactics. He got the wrong substitution.
Why the fuck you lying?
Tactics wise, Egal, I think my manager went to the Parc des Princes with the right philosophy, the right principles, be hard to beat, which it worked for the first 30 minutes, get a counter-attack goal, which it worked on the 34th minute. The issue that we then had is that that wonder goal killed us. But the substitution at half-time, and I know people saying, why you go back to Forest? Because it happened at the weekend. He made a substitution in the right-back position against Forest, and they came onto us in the second half and cooked us. This first half was great, Egal, and then he makes a sub at half time.
So wait, Josh, if this manager's so good, why didn't he learn?
This is the same thing Unai Emery's always praised for, though. He's always making early subs. He's always tinkering things quickly. He's always making major changes during games. How many times a season do you see him go and change one or two people after 45 minutes? He does this. This is what he does. And this is part of his method. So for you to now be like, oh, he got the substitution wrong, but not the tactics. He changed the tactics because he didn't believe in it in the first place by bringing in different personnel.
He didn't even start Watkins.
Matty Cash was on a yellow card.
Asensio was on the bench.
He didn't trust Matty Cash, so he went there. If anyone knew, it was very obvious that Unai Emery was going with this lineup tonight. Ollie Watkins was never going to start tonight, and neither was Asensio because of what we were shaping up to do out of possession tonight. Asensio was not.
He still got moved to.
Ollie Watkins has shown out of possession a lot of strengths on the counter against Liverpool and Arsenal in the past.
Even for England.
But I agree with that, yeah. But also at the moment, who's more informed, Rashford or Watkins, right now?
Who's a better forward?
Neither.
Rashford. Well,
Right
Watkins is
now-
better than Rashford.
Watkins is a better forward.
Than Rashford,
They're
yeah, he
both
is.
shit.
So. But my point is, right now, it was very obvious that Rashford was playing as a 9 today. What I'm basically trying to say is that I can't question the manager's tactics. I can question. I felt that the substitution with Disasi, but also I felt like he left Onana, Maatsen, and Watkins too late. I think they should have been done 10 minutes earlier. However, I'm still going to
you're
sit here
questioning his
and
tactics.
hold on, that's in-game substitutions. Tactically, if we went Egal and played a bloody 3-5-2, or if we went and tried to play a press on them, or if we didn't sit on a low block and mid block, he didn't need to change that tactical structure of Aston Villa. But
How do you park the bus? Basically, yeah. Go 1-0 up and still concede 3 goals. What the fuck does that tell me about your team? How about this, Josh? Yeah, like
They
I
don't
said,
have the defensive capability.
bro, it don't matter what substitutes you or what personnel you start with. You're losing. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? You're still, and bro, they're all encamped. You saw it was like a 5-4-1. This guy's talking about it. No, you know what he's doing, Egal, yeah, by the way. I want him to apologize to you for what he tried to do to you on the weekend, by the way. And also, this is what I don't understand, yeah. He's talking about ifs. He's trying to talk about if, buts, and maybes, yeah. Don't do that, because Desiree Doué should have scored that goal just before that, by the way. Anyways, what I don't understand, he's talking about is like, oh, if I start 15 yards higher, we'll create chances. Like, they don't have fucking Speedy Gonzalez, Dembele, Desiree Doué, Barcola, how you say it, and Cavascalia on the break. Like, it's this guy. Are you, bro, like, honestly, do you have to convince yourself? Are you playing Minecraft in your head? Because honestly, you're trying to build a block, trying to build a way or a case to make sure that you win. Because guess what? It's getting blown up by all those tickers, G, because it's not working out. You're not convincing no one but yourself. If but some bullshit, nothing. Well, I don't know what we're doing. You know what? You should kind of come in and say, you know what? Hold my hands up. I was wrong. I was wrong. No. You know what it is, Monts? You can barely cook people when they say, you know what? I was wrong. I'll take the cooking, but I was wrong. And now he's like, but it's just, but the thing is, but you can never tell him when a man says he's wrong. Yeah, it's like, it's cool with it. Just own up to it. The guy can't own up to it. Instead, he said, "Are we still in or not?"
What am I owning up to?
You just said Real Madrid out. You just said, all right, Real Madrid's got a chance then. You just said, like, you said about 10 minutes ago that they're out. Like,
I do think Real Madrid out, but Aston Villa aren't 3 goals down.
That's at the Bernabeu. That's at Villa Park.
I would say Madrid have a better chance than Villa are going through.
Have you ever heard of Monts? Have you ever heard of the magic of the Villa Park?
No.
What memorable nights have you heard at Villa Park? You know what they're doing. You know what they're doing.
There's been, how about this? There's been plenty of memorable nights at Anfield, but there wasn't one with PSG town. There's been plenty of magical nights at Real Madrid at home or away, and Arsenal. And again, Heritage has proved to be very iffy.
Yeah, but we have Heritage versus Real Madrid.
They've never beat Arsenal
versus Real Madrid. They've never beaten us.
Please, can you read
what the fuck does Heritage versus one team mean? What does that even mean?
It's still Heritage.
What do you mean Heritage versus Real Madrid?
All right,
Heritage is Heritage, bro.
What's the percentage here? Monts, give me a percentage of how much of a chance Villa have in getting through.
Heritage versus Real Madrid. You don't have European heritage, and you beat up Real Madrid. So therefore, my point stands that Heritage.
Aren't Spurs Man City's bogey team? We're Real Madrid's bogey team. Fair play.
You know what is Monts? Yeah. This is how dark had to get. Yeah, they had to talk about back in '81. Yeah, when Aston Villa last won a league title. Then they had to, and before Liverpool got everyone kicked out of Europe. By the way, they had to talk about Villa nights in the '70s. Do you know how disgusting that is?
Josh. It's like that.
Have some decorum.
Factually.
Hold on.
Champions League heritage, factually, this season has not been the thing to take. That's been like the most.
PSG don't have heritage in Champions League though. You know what I mean? They don't have much heritage either. Like, so you're right. No, PSG in it. They don't have. They usually.
That's my point is saying. I'm just saying, bro.
So how does it correlate to Aston Villa right now? Because they have fucking all. It's been expired for about 50 years.
Can I say one thing?
Because you said you asked me specifically when was the last time? Well, when have you ever heard a special night at Villa Park? But that is alluding to the fact that they don't have Champions League heritage like that, or they don't have much heritage like that. But heritage hasn't been a deciding factor when certain teams have played each other, i.e., Real Madrid.
This is Villa. This is Villa, man. This is Villa.
Well, Josh, what are you going to say?
All I got to say is, Egal, I'm sorry. Just believe in your team. Believe in your team more. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just believe in your team.
I believe in my
Wait,
team.
you're telling Egal to believe in his own team more?
He told him already. He told him already last week. He told him already last week. When he said he's going to win a
No,
double.
but you
I want
also
Kas
told
to
me
know.
I'm delusional. Some of you guys.
17
You got more
Villa
women to propose to,
unbeaten.
yeah?
Villa, 17 games unbeaten at Villa Park. 17 games unbeaten. So just remember
One
that.
last question.
Because when you're asking
One
about
last
special,
question.
like, what? What's that?
Are Villa still going to be the furthest English team in the Champions League?
Yes, because we'll knock out Arsenal in the semi-finals. So
yeah. You're funny.
on that note, gents, I've
Get
got to
there
go. I told
first.
Kas
Get
got to
there
go at
first.
11. I've got to go, but I'll see
Shameless.
Egal in the semi-finals.
Tomorrow,
One
Josh.
second, bro. The
Tomorrow,
tie's
Josh.
not done. You could easily
Yeah. I can do
turn it
tomorrow.
over
Kas,
at
I can do
Villa
Yeah,
Park.
sick. Yeah.
But one thing I will tell
Right.
you, defensively, I don't think Unai Emery backs your team.
Because they're useless.
I think he's getting found out. They've tagged him to this whole cup maestro legend and what have you. He couldn't win the Conference League. He lost to Olympiacos. He bottles it with PSG. And now, after Josh is gassing
Villarreal.
him up, he's done.
Yeah, there we go, man. Few subs quickly. Emery at Villarreal bottled 2-0 in the first half, second leg against Liverpool, remember?
Villarreal, yeah.
Oh my days. There you go. Special night Anfield.
Man had five Capu.
Yeah, but it was still 2-0 though. Do you know what I mean? It was still 2-0.
Was it Foyth, Capu, and he was the other
Capu,
one?
oh my god, the one Arsenal one.
The policeman.
The Coquelin.
Yeah, Francis Coquelin. Yeah.
Yeah, Aston Villa's defense is not strong enough though. Josh, I didn't get these on time to him. I'm gonna screenshot that.
He did. I asked him the question. He said yes.
Okay, yeah. Big up for that one. Thanks, Wolfie. He says Wolfie in jail. Oh, come on, I can't jail Wolfie. It's not his time, isn't it? You know what I mean? A&Z. Say Real Madrid has a better chance than Villa.
I did. That's nothing.
I need to talk to Wolfie and Patrick. What are you guys saying?
Wait, was I there?
No. Hear me out. In the last show we did, you asked me what is the blueprint on how to beat Real Madrid, and I said to you guys, the blueprint is very simple. You go and play them at the Emirates, and you leave that tie with at least a 2 or 3 goal lead. And what did we do? We left the tie with a 3-goal lead. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, everything's changed. Life's changed now. We're going into the next game at the Bernabeu. I'm expecting us to come out of this tie the winners, and I don't think they can score 3 past us at their ground. Simple. I think the tie is done. And even if they give us a game at their ground, I don't think it's going to be bad enough where we get knocked out. Now, Patrick and Wolfie, for 2 guys who called me delusional for even thinking that there's
did I call you delusional? I don't think so.
No. I remember Wolfie
blueprint.
specifically calling me delusional. So I think not only does Josh owe me some sort of apologies, I think you guys owe me some apologies for my team stepping up more than you guys expected.
Hold on. Before we get into all of that, you can't just give half stories.
I didn't think we could beat them at their ground. I still don't think we're gonna go and win at their ground.
Story. When we asked you for the blueprint, Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong here. He said they needed 2 or 3 goals, and he thought with that they could win on penalties.
I also asked you to paint the picture. Yes, I also asked you to paint the picture.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, with 2, but 3.
2 or 3. You said you could win on penalties. That was your blueprint.
We can win or going through.
That was your blueprint. You know what? I respect you in terms of the backing you gave your club compared to the other Arsenal fans. I will give you that, but I will not let you rewrite history to say that you said if you win 2 or 3-0, you're through, because your words were penalties.
Regardless, you said it was delusional to think we'd go through versus Real Madrid. Did you not?
It was delusional.
I did.
So you put your hand up for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's half time. Once you beat them and you're through, you'll have my full credit. You'll have my full credit. I have no problems in saying it, but Egal.
Do you know Real Madrid have played us 3 times? They've never.
This has to mean something. This has to mean something. Yeah,
I get that. We'll get there when we get there. We're only in the semifinals. We're only talking about the quarterfinals.
I think if you guys beat Madrid, I think you have the confidence to win it.
One second. I'm done with you, Wolfie. Now let's talk to Patrick. Patrick, this is the same Real Madrid that knocked you out. This is the same team, Arsenal, that beat you 5-1.
Yeah.
Now, and you yourself, I seen you on socials talking about Arsenal might win the Champions League. Are you seeing this team?
That's shameless, man.
And you're thinking to yourself, if we get past Real Madrid, you think Arsenal can do it?
Chemo's got this guy's brain fried, man.
Because I seen somebody say we can't say what a Champions League anymore. That's the kind of shit you're putting out there. So you must, in the heart of hearts, be worried that Arsenal could actually go all the way after seeing how we battered you at your ground. At our ground.
Did you see my statements? Did you see my delusional statements? My first statement was Saka is playing with 10 bumps. That was my first statement, and then I said this Arsenal team stinks. Then after that, I changed my statement. Do you take me seriously after that?
Are you telling me to not take you seriously? Are you saying you're a joke?
No, I do that purposely. I was just hyping you, man. But okay, let me be serious for a minute. Look, we've done this before to Madrid. We beat them 4-0, then won it. I just feel like if you guys beat Madrid, and let me just tell you, I will still run with this agenda. If you guys beat Madrid and you don't win this trophy, this is your best opportunity. Because I'm looking at the teams, they don't look that serious. If you don't, then I will come after you, though. We will still come after you because this is your only opportunity to win a trophy.
You see how, guys, do you see how the mood has changed? It went from you're delusional to say you're going to beat Real Madrid to now, if you beat Real Madrid and you don't win the Champions League,
that's what I said.
The copium levels have reached a new level. Bro, just put your hand up and be like, wow, you surprised me. And if you get past Real Madrid, I really think you have a good chance of winning the Champions League. Instead of turning it into if you don't win the Champions League. Why don't you just do that?
Do you know isn't the goal to win the Champions League?
I know, but the way he's saying it is more of like...
Because what Patrick's saying here, Egal, and he has a point. If you get to the final and you lose it, would you say that's been a good campaign?
It depends. We need to first get there.
No. This question's black and white. This question's black and white. If you get to the final and you lose it, will you come away and say, you know what, with the injuries we've had, the tough season we've had...
if we get to the final with Mikel Moreno at striker, Kivior instead of Gabriel, I'm going to say to myself, wow.
Fair play.
We've done amazing, to be fair.
To be you know what you're turning into, bro? And I hate to say this.
Don't you dare.
No, but even Man City fan, I don't know why Patrick's laughing, because I remember I said stream with Daps about a year ago or a couple of years ago, you got to lose one to win one type stuff, and then gassing it up, saying all this blah blah. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. They get to the final. It's like Liverpool. Liverpool lost, and then the following year they won it. Or the following years. Yeah, but who cares about that?
What did Spurs do when they got to the final?
They're not Spurs, though. They're not Spurs.
I don't know about you guys.
What he's saying is very
I don't know about you guys, but Arsenal right now, the reason why our attack is so shit in the Premier League versus Everton and looks so good versus Real Madrid give us more space. Real Madrid give us more opportunity on the ball. Real Madrid, PSG, these teams that are still in the competition are going to not play a mid to low block. They're going to be letting us get the ball in dangerous areas.
What if you made Inter?
Very disrespectful, actually. They're very disrespectful, actually, giving Bukayo Saka 1v1s versus Alaba. What were they smoking? Like, if you see these kind of teams, if you see any team in the Premier League give Bukayo Saka 1v1s in the versus a left back, you'll be surprised. But Real Madrid, they tried to play as mano a mano. And you know something? Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Jude Bellingham, none of them had nothing on Bukayo Saka in the final third, the way that he was driving the team forward. Mikel Moreno scored a goal versus Real Madrid, and none of their superstars scored a goal. Declan Rice, two of the best free kicks I have seen in my life in the Emirates. That was Javinho-esque, Beckham-esque.
That wasn't the best free kick in the Emirates.
Roberto Carlos-esque. The best I've seen in the by an Arsenal player.
No, not in the Emirates. You can't say that.
By far, the best free kick I've seen in the Emirates.
Do you not think Ronaldo's free kick was better?
The first free kick by an Arsenal player, obviously. I'm not going to pick up Ronaldo.
You said the Emirates, bro. I was just checking.
Bro, the way he crossed it, Roberto Carlos S. The second one, he put it in the corner. No one else could touch it. You could put 4 goalkeepers. No one's touching that. And finally, the reason why guys like Patrick, everyone is holding their heads, you guys don't watch Real Madrid. I don't watch Real Madrid. None of you guys expected this kind of performance. The badge with 15 weighs more in your opinions of the team than what they actually are on the pitch. This is a team that got battered by Barcelona twice already this season. This is a team that has lost heavy defeat after heavy defeat, and their defense is vulnerable. They are vulnerable defensively.
Listen, Egal.
Arsenal took the vulnerabilities from them, showed them who's boss, and the manager, who's their legendary manager, their greatest ever manager, Carlo Ancelotti, got bossed by Mikel Arteta.
Listen, Egal, can I say a couple of things? Firstly, forget Rice's free kicks. Your three best players on that pitch, for me, was Saka number 1. He was sensational. Secondly, Partey. And then thirdly, Lewis Skelly. And Timber. I thought Timber was brilliant, yeah? I know Rice is getting all the accolades. But Partey, for me, bossed that midfield. And why you guys are not doing what you can, because I think he's been one of your best players all season. Why you're not getting him to sign a new contract is nearly as bad as what's happened with Liverpool and Trent. That player is quality.
Well, they're about to have the whole Mo Salah and new deal anyways, and Virgil van Dijk.
What they did with Trent.
They're using that money to allocate. You know what I mean? Sometimes
you need to freshen up the team and change it up. And I think if Partey leaves and we bring in Zubimendi, we'll be fine. I do agree with you. Partey had a good game. I do agree with you. Partey had a good game, and he's one guy who I've been heavily critical of, and he deserves a lot of plaudits. His performance was outstanding.
He's been good all season. He's had patches here and there.
I don't know. Looking at the 39-year-old for Real Madrid and looking at Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey could give us a couple more years.
I agree. And the other thing what was I going to say? So yeah, those 4 players are sensational. And you should have won by more if it wasn't for Courtois. Courtois made some crazy saves.
If they had a striker, they could have
easily been 5-0.
I don't even think the striker thing mattered. I don't think the striker thing mattered. I think Courtois was in great form.
No, I mean,
those free kicks had to be where they were to go in.
Did you see the
doesn't that make you guys think? Doesn't that make you guys change your opinion on the manager a little bit? Because if he's getting these kind of results with Mikel Moreno, imagine if he actually got a real striker.
Can I say something to you, Egal? I'm gonna say this to everybody. When I say it, people are laughing at me. Don't forget that even that shit Man City team, I think we did score against this Madrid team. Madrid dunked on us and people got excited. You're right. Madrid is not great at the moment. They're horrible. But they dunked on City and people thought, oh, they've woken up. But can I ask you a question, though? And this is not an agenda, right? Let's say, for instance, Arsenal get to the final and you don't win it, right? This season. And then Man City, by some chance, win the FA Cup and the Club World Cup. I have a better season than you, don't I?
What are you talking about?
No, because you were talking about like the fact that you said we're giving your manager credit. Let's say, for instance, you get to the final, you don't win, but you've achieved the final with Arteta, which is a great thing. But I win the FA Cup and I win the Club World Cup. I will have a better season than you. Again,
you have no chance of winning the Club World Cup.
I'm just saying.
Those conversations for me, let them happen at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Right now,
aren't Inter in the Club World Cup?
Not really.
I don't even know. I think Inter Milan,
Chelsea, Inter Miami.
Yeah,
weird teams. I think Inter are in it.
No? Almeras are in there.
What the fuck? There's some weird ass teams in there.
I know.
It's very weird. Alone is weird.
I have no idea, man.
Nah, but big up to you, man. For you, I know that Madrid is shit, but for you to do that, obviously with Moreno, whatever his name is, big up to you guys, man.
Egal needs credit because look, he's taken a lot of shit,
and he loves his manager. He loves his manager. I've seen
he's finally got one take correct out of the 1,000.
No, but what I'm saying is Egal's the only one I've heard who was showing chest about potentially beating them. Yeah, at home. Okay, so he needs to take credit for that, but it means nothing unless you pick those big ears up. It means literally nothing. Should I tell you why?
Regardless what happens, it was a great night out, and now I'm just focused game by game.
But your mentality shouldn't be that.
Game by game.
Your mentality shouldn't be that.
Next game is the most important thing. The following thing is, I believe, if you look too far ahead, that's where you start selling yourself short.
No, you have to believe.
You need to just focus on the next tie. I believe we'll get through versus Real Madrid. We get through versus Real Madrid. Be it Aston Villa or PSG, preferably, I would rather play PSG than Aston Villa.
Really?
Yeah, I would rather play PSG than Aston Villa. I think the attacking team is always better than the defensive monster. Same way, I'd rather play Barcelona than Inter.
Maybe, yeah. Got a point.
You don't want to face the defensive team. The defensive juggernaut is more of a problem for Arsenal, who struggles.
The only thing I'll say about PSG though, they press so well, man.
We've played PSG this season, and we bossed them.
That's not the
It was
PSG.
a completely different team. I get that. I get it was a completely different team. The same way this Arsenal team is a completely different team with what do you call it? Some of our players back fit and unfortunately one of our better defenders out. But Kivior put in a shift. Like, you guys are forgetting, we won this game versus Real Madrid with Kivior, Mikel Moreno at striker, 18-year-old Imazu Skelly at left back. Like, everyone's talking about adversity and everything else. I think there's no more excuses. We can't make excuses about injuries. We can't make excuses about anything. We just take it as we go. And if we go to the final,
Wait, say that again. You can't make excuses on injuries.
Yeah, we can't make excuses anymore, because
so if that scenario happens where you lose in the final,
we've
you
been
won't
over
lean on
this whole
injuries.
season. We've been over this whole season. Everyone knows what it is. At this point, cup competition, be it injuries, be it red cards, be it suspensions, whatever it is, you just got to go for it.
Just like Liverpool, isn't it? With the contracts.
And you know what? Talking about Liverpool, you're going to talk about that topic. Is Monts back?
Yes, I'm here.
He's parched.
Bro, we got to talk about your boys. Your boys signing a new deal. Regardless if Mo Salah and Van Dijk stay, you still got a lot of work to do. And I still think Liverpool's downfall is coming, you know?
So, two of my best players are staying on. Of course, we're losing Trent.
Yep.
And the first thing you say is I've still got a lot of work to do. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I still have a lot of work to do. But I'm at the top. So it's your job to catch me. You get that? So, regardless if you think I have work to do, you need to improve, work on that fitness, stop those hamstrings from, spontaneously combusting. Yeah, those are the first two things: hamstrings, quads, kneecaps, ankles. Sort those out. Once you sort those out. Sorry. Sorry, and the PGMOL as well. That one as well. And the amount of penalties that Liverpool given, and that as well. Yeah, so there's those things. But and excuses and accountability. Yeah, there's that.
And validation requests.
Validation, and expectation as well. And then we can start thinking about signings for Arsenal. Then we start to think about signings.
Yeah, but
if you want to call
the Champions League,
you want to call
top.
This season for Arsenal stagnation, we've not yet finished the season, but whatever you want to call it.
I agree, Wolfie.
I'm going to say this: Liverpool this season have improved from last year, but there's a cliff, and the cliff is close. And with new contracts for players, we've seen players, their contract season go absolutely crazy for that contract.
Didn't Mo Salah sign a contract 3 years ago?
And then fall off a cliff. Now Mo Salah is not who I'm speaking about only. I'm speaking about Liverpool in general.
What players have contract? What players? One second. Like this?
Let me finish.
I'll wait.
With Trent leaving, a lot of your creativity goes out the door.
Yes, okay? I agree.
We've seen just the last 2 games the difficulty you guys have had without Trent's availability. You're going to have to find a new way of play. You're going to have to go out there and improve your attack, improve that midfield, and find a different way to create. And we're gonna have to see how you do that. Now, I don't think I'm gonna write off Liverpool yet, but you still have a major issue. Salah, Van Dijk, and Alisson are still your key players, and I don't see too many other players coming up that are going to take the mantle from those guys that look like they're going to be able to keep Liverpool going. I do
understand. Gravenberch wasn't a major piece, and he is a key component as to why we won the league.
Okay, so you think Gravenberch is in the same level as
McAllister?
That's not what I'm talking about. As I said, outside of my spine, the tweak that was made, because with the same spine, we didn't win the league last year with the same spine. We didn't win the league the year before with the same spine. We didn't win the league before that with the same spine. But the tweak of Gakpo going left wing, Gravenberch going in the DM position, and the new manager coming, Dutch connection. I know you noticed that one. Those specific changes have been integral to us winning this title. Of course, McAllister improving as well. So there are players around the squad that can do well. But I agree with you. There does need to be a new way of creating. I'm a heavy advocate that we are missing Trent dearly right now. And what I would be saying is, I just find it a bit cheeky as to, I don't think Arsenal fans should be the ones about trying to write Liverpool off. Right, I need you guys to write.
I'm not writing you off
before you write off. Right,
I'm not writing you off.
But if you were on the cusp of winning the Premier League, I think it'd be a little bit cheeky, man. Them talking about next season when we're still 9 games away from the end of the season. Everyone loves to talk about next season because you can't fathom the fact that we're winning number 20. So as I said,
congratulations,
give it a rest and run me my fucking prem. And
congratulations.
Run it to me.
Congratulations.
No. It's not game week 38 yet.
You're winning. You're winning.
38 yet.
You're winning the league.
38 yet. It's not.
1 second.
Game week 38.
You're winning the league. You're winning the league this year. You're winning the league this year. But I believe if my team does what they need to do, and Liverpool does their best, and Man City does their best, I'm still going to be there, and I'm going to be a problem for everybody.
Who is a problem? Who is a problem? You're number 2.
I understand about. Listen,
I think I'm going to get over that line.
I understand being there. The bottom line is, Egal, I do get the consensus of where the improvements have been made, and Liverpool do need to make improvements. However,
and I don't think I was bantering. I think I was being honest.
I know, because I agreed with you on the Trent thing. I agree. The Trent thing, well, genuinely. But with Van Dijk and Salah staying on,
you have an aging squad.
That is massive news because I had to sit here and listen to Kas say all 3 of them are going to go. And now he's probably going to change his tune and say, I knew they were going to stay.
But guess what?
Nothing going to change in their tune now saying, I knew Virgil and Salah were going to stay. I knew they were going to stay.
But Monts, Liverpool PR, you hate it. You hate Liverpool PR. I know you do. Because this is what they've done to you. They've waited so long to complete 2 re-signings and made it seem like you've done something massive. You haven't. You're actually worse. You're actually worse at this moment in time.
I didn't say we've done something massive. We needed to get the contracts done, and now that they're done, the transfer window is not open yet. So there's nothing else that can be done right now. The chance is like, what do you want me to do? Break the window open myself?
If I'm not mistaken, you can still get pre-agreements for.
Where are your pre-agreements? Where are your pre-agreements?
What are we doing here?
Because Trent is already pretty much done for Real Madrid.
What are we doing here? The transfer window is not open yet. Like, what?
That's true.
Did Man City sign Haaland for the transfer?
Wait, are you playing in the conference? Are you playing the Club World Cup?
No, we're not. So
why are you not playing the Club World Cup?
This is like it's in like every 3 years.
Won the league a year after us, or the 2 years after us.
Bro, so Chelsea's
gonna get it doesn't, bro. To be fair, it's less games for us to play, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's less games for us to play.
But listen, I think Mo Salah's gonna be good. I think Van Dijk's gonna be good. But Liverpool, it's gonna creep up on them quickly if their best 2 players. Bro, if their best 2 players are like 32 plus.
Yeah, but you're missing. You're deflecting here to Liverpool. Because I got a question for you. How in a game where your team played so well did Odegaard still look stinky?
Odegaard played better than Jude Bellingham.
That's a big issue.
Odegaard played better than the 39-year-old.
Your team played collectively really well yesterday, but Odegaard still looked stinky. Yet you're telling Monts about creativity. Odegaard's meant to be your creative thing. I'm not hearing talks about replacement for him because he's had a stinky season, bro.
You know something? You're not wrong. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here deflecting onto other topics. Martin Odegaard is a topic of discussion. But in the same breath, I think there's players like Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Mbappe.
Yeah, but they won't be playing the Premier League next season.
Who are also on the pitch, who are considered superstars. They were stinky also.
They stung the house up. But you're talking about the league now. You brought Liverpool into this.
People have bad games, and people can even have bad seasons. But I think Martin Odegaard this season has also suffered from a lot of people up top missing a lot of chances. We're not playing the same way. We've had guys like Mikel Moreno occupying a lot of the space that he should be in also. So it's a little bit different.
Odegaard's been found out. If you look at today, he just kept floating to the right. And where are you, Saka?
I do think we see a lot better from him when we have a striker actually up front, up top. When we do sign Victor Gyökeres, and I think some of you guys need to open your eyes a little bit.
Wait, when?
It's a matter of when.
I think you guys need to open your eyes a little bit because when Arsenal do sign Victor Gyökeres, listen, I'm confident we're going to get something done with Victor Gyökeres.
Still getting Sesko.
But when Arsenal, forget about Sesko, Gyökeres is a 40+ goal season player. When Victor Gyökeres does sign, you guys will see if Mika Moreno can get 6 goals in 8. Imagine what Victor Gyökeres can do when Arsenal get him up top.
Man.
That would be a great signing, to be fair. But just generally speaking, bro, I just was kind of wondering how you managed to spin Trent and Van Dijk into kind of a negative for Liverpool. But I get it. It's not your.
No. But Van Dijk and Salah is great. But the thing is,
well, yeah, they won us the league.
They're your most impactful players, and they're 32+. Liverpool's still not getting younger.
Yeah, I hear it, and we still need to, as I said, we need to make additions regardless of the big three. Regardless,
if you get Isaac, that can circumvent some of the pressure from Salah.
We won't get
If you go get the Lap or that Higo guy from what's it called? Frankfurt, bro.
Ekatike.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very risky. It could be Darwin Núñez 2.0.
Maybe. Anyways,
we'll have to see.
Yeah, anyways, make sure you subscribe to everyone and make sure you like this video as well on the way out. This is going to go over to the receipts channel, so you can find that there. So you lot can find out where people are talking basically shit or something good. Never know. Anyone got time to shout quick?
Wolfie, you might catch us if we win the Champions League. Who gives a fuck?
Listen, man, as I said, everyone was talking shit about VVD and Salah. Don't change your tune now. Said all 3 of them were going.
Amazing signings, well played.